You're listening to A World of Empowerment Service from Aingeal Rose and Ahonu.
What is love? Let's find out. Many people ask that question, so a number of years ago we did a group Akashic Record session in Ireland where that was the predominant question. Have a listen and hear Aingeal Rose's answer, which she downstepped from God's source directly through the Akashic Records. Here's what she said. Love is the field of all expression, where everything gets expressed. That's the answer. It's just short and sweet. And what are the qualities of love? Love, being the field of all expression, allows everything to be expressed. There's no judgment in it. There are no perceptions of right and wrong in it, or good and bad, or of any kinds of opposites. It's really clear in capital letters, love does not judge. And furthermore, there's no time involved in love. It goes on forever. Love is free. It's free because there's no judgment. The field of all expression is a dynamic field. It's infinite, going on forever, and it is forever innocent. In this infinite field of all possibilities, I hear phrases like love never ends and love never dies. Even if I say love is the universe, it doesn't seem big enough because love is everything. When looking into the universal field of love, I'm watching all possibilities in a plasma field of everything where anything is possible. Love feels like an energy, and it could have energy as part of its qualities, but it would not define itself as energy. It has no boundaries. It's a state of being, of existence. And everything is contained within it, and yet it doesn't have any values in the sense of judgment. Love is all knowing. It is all knowledge too. All information is there. Everything you would ever want or need to know is there. Is there an opposite to love? No, there is no opposite of love, because if there were an opposite of love, it would mean that there was a reality that is different than love. Love can't be damaged in any way by anything. Negativity is sometimes considered the opposite of love. The force of negativity can gain a momentum so that it makes it harder to see the field of love. But love is still there behind the negativity. It's similar to the fact that even on a cloudy day, the sky is still blue and the sun is still shining. The field of love is like a golden woven energy field. When somebody is perceived to do something that's judged as unloving, it looks like they're punching little holes in the field. But like your body, when it gets injured, your immune system kicks in and repairs the injury immediately. And so it is with the field of love. You could say it is immediately forgiving, or that it is immediately self-healing. The question gets asked because there are forces that want to appear stronger than the field of love. They create havoc and cause damage by affecting people in a way where they can't see clearly because they've become afraid. Fear has kept people from seeing the field of love. And because of this, it can appear that the forces of darkness at times are much greater than the forces of love. But this is simply not so. It's like saying the clouds that block the sunshine are more powerful than the sun itself. Now, once people get fearful, it's hard to remember that the loving field of all expression is always there. So even though negative forces could appear to have lots of power, there is no opposite to love. Another way I often get asked the same question is, what's the difference between love and hate? Remember, I did not say love is the expression of everything. I said love allows the expression of everything. There is no relationship between love and hate because they're not opposites. That's part of the big illusion we're all in, that we think things have an opposite. We think we live in a polarized universe, a polarity where if you have one, you have to have the other in equal measure. But love doesn't have an opposite. Evil can't touch love because evil is based on illusion. There's a difference between real and unreal. The expression of opposites comes from fear. Acts of hatred come from fear. Always, underneath all this is the fear of not being loved, of feeling disconnected from the field of love. And this results in feeling the need to take from life or to conquer. Still, love does not put negative expression in any category whatsoever. The problem with labeling things, or with putting things in categories or pigeonholing things, is that you just make more of it. The moment you label something, the moment you name it, the moment you judge it as bad or good, right or wrong, you've just made more of it. Source is not saying that evil is love. Just because there's no judgment, I'm not saying that love and evil are the same thing. They're not the same. Anything counter to love isn't judged by Source, but it is allowed by Source. This is what love is. If we're made of love, why do we feel so bereft of it? Well, every time you judge somebody, you will feel bereft. You can't judge someone and not feel the consequences of it somewhere in yourself. It's judgment that makes you feel guilty. If you feel guilty, then you believe you will be punished. You can't feel love if you're doing that. And as long as you're judging one another, you can't feel love. Source loves everyone the same. And if you're really in a state of calmness within yourself, you wouldn't feel bereft at all. If you feel bereft, you have created fear for you. And once you judge, you feel guilt. And once you feel guilt, now you fear punishment. You just can't get around it. It's just the way it works. Forgiveness is when you get to the place where you know you can't judge anyone. Forgiveness is not that you did something to me and I did something to you and you forgive me and I forgive you. Forgiveness is the realization that you can't judge in the first place. This is called grace. That's why they say if someone is really annoying you, to bless them instead of judging them. Because if you bless them, you're offering them grace. And grace is an energy where you don't really know how it will manifest with them. That's what you're offering. You're not being specific about any outcome and saying, well, I'm offering you this so I get something in return. I bless you because I want you to have this, this, and this, and this. No, you're blessing them, acknowledging them that they're innocent in God's eyes, even if they're not behaving like they are. In other words, you're sending love to someone out of a pure intention without any expectation of what might happen because of it. This state of grace is pure intention with no agenda. Some people say they're sending love, but they're really sending their judgment. Do you understand? Why do we have such difficulty loving ourselves? You simply can't love yourself if you judge somebody or judge anybody. Judgment is judgment is judgment. If you judge another person, you're going to feel negativity. And if you judge yourself, it's basically just ignorance. If we judge ourselves, we believe in judgment. It's the belief in judgment that has to go. Not just the act of judgment, but the belief in it. It's the belief in guilt. Whether you feel you're guilty or somebody else is guilty, all judgment is the belief in guilt and victimization. If you believe in victimization, you can't believe in love. The reason we don't give up guilt is we want other people to be guilty, and then we can feel justified in our grievance. There's no way we can know we're loved at all as long as we're doing that. A student asked in that session, "Many have the fear that God will punish us. Can you give us an example of love where fear was present?" An example of love is when you give without wanting to receive, or when you just give purely, just because, without any reason. So you extend a hand in kindness, any true outreach to one another. Now here's a real life example. One time I was driving to Philadelphia to attend a seminar, and I had to cross a bridge. At the other end of the bridge there was a stoplight, and at that stoplight there were several little black boys who wanted to wash my windshield. I didn't want them to wash my windshield because I was in fear of not having enough money for my lunch. I didn't have any extra money to give them. I had $5 with me for lunch, and that was it. And I kept saying no to them, but they continued to ignore my refusal and kept washing my windshield. I was watching how furious I was getting. I kept saying to myself, I didn't want to pay them, and that I didn't want to have to pay them. And suddenly I heard Jesus' voice saying to me, "That's your son. These boys are your children." It was so obvious how much I had been in judgment. But when I got to the point where I thought, okay, I'm willing to give up my lunch money for them because I realize they're all my children. I took out the $5, but the light changed suddenly and I got pushed into the stream of traffic. I never got to give them the money for their service. While I feel I lost a unique opportunity to express love, I also felt I had in that instant overcome the fear of expressing it. That was a selfless act because I realized that they were my children. And when I said, I get it, that's when I went beyond my own desire and my own fear. I was willing to see peace instead. When I got home that day, my 3 children had been busy making little potholder trivets out of sticks. Mommy, we sold 2 of these today for $5. I felt a moment of joy, a feeling of ecstasy, a confirmation that I had learned a lesson of pure love. And from that, I always try to keep people safe, just because that's the natural, spontaneous, loving thing to do. How many parents give up something they want for themselves to give to their children? That's a selfless act of pure love. Pure love is experienced when you experience something that has no agenda. Remember, love is all there is. So until next time, blessings from myself, Ahonu, and from Aingeal Rose.
You can subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and on our website at worldofempowerment.com.
Don't miss an episode. Hit the subscribe button now.